there's got to be more to life. Like, if this is living my best life, why do I feel so empty? He met me in a place where I did not want to be found. I was completely happy with where I was. Testing. I don't know, I've always wanted to do that. Testing! Testing! It's a speaker, isn't it? Well, I was a girl about town, a girl about the world, knew it all. You could not tell me anything. I knew best, I lived best, I had best, I was best. End of, period. Standards that are set by our generation, the sort of the social media lifestyle. Everyone's in the latest shoes and the latest sort of the new clobber, the best cars, going to Dubai, selfie by the pool, all that kind of thing. That for me was the life that I portrayed and the life that I lived. And I know there's a saying, it's an Instagram lifestyle on a lemonade budget, but that was my lifestyle without the lemonade budget. It was just a very poisonous lifestyle. I spent quite a lot of money on coke, and to obtain the money to buy the drugs that I was taking, I was doing things that I shouldn't have been doing. There's been so many times I've manipulated people, manipulated circumstances, and to get what I wanted, and it has cost me dearly. It's cost me friends, it's nearly cost me my family. The sad thing is there's so many people out there that would class the lifestyle I used to have as living, and it's just couldn't be further from the truth. I think a lot of people experience God when they're looking for him. So you'll find a lot of people, I think, maybe they end up in a bad situation with work or with family, or just in some sort of horrible situation, and they're actively seeking God. But I really wasn't. I mean, to understand how big a transformation Jesus has had on my life, you really have to understand my life was ace. It was awesome. And then God came along, and it was just the most unexpected relationship, like just totally from out the blue. Living the life I did, the last place you were seen, the last place I wanted to go was to church. So many people were praying for me, like praying me home for 20 years. I just think that's incredible. People prayed me home. So I went to PBC. I listened to Will, who was leading one of the Sunday morning services, and it made a massive impact on me. Something changed that day. Something happened in my heart. I was challenged. It takes a lot to challenge me. I'm bullheaded, so it's my way or the highway. So to be challenged in a way that I left there wanting to go back was incredible. Being a parent, that for me was a massive new thing this year. Having the twins in lockdown and sort of becoming a new mum, and I've done a whole year and haven't killed them, so I've done pretty well. They're not hamsters. They have needs, and I have no sleep. But yeah, no, having the twins has been an incredible journey for me. It's so hard to understand God's heart, God's love for you. We say it and we throw it around like, God loves you, hey, winning, or like, God's got you, yay. But to actually truly understand that from a parent's point of view, like, I love my kids. I have a love for them that I can't explain. I mean, can you actually imagine? Does anyone actually stop and think I'd send my child to die for somebody that is just awful? You just wouldn't. You couldn't. There's definitely a reality, and almost a chill that goes down your spine when you realise what a sacrifice that was. The person that I am today, the ground that I stand on, firm foundations of who God has called me to be in relationship with him, would not have been possible without Easter Sunday. Easter Sunday is the epitome of what everything is about. Everything revolves around this day. Jesus died so that I could have a relationship with him, with God. He literally conquered death and took the keys away so that I can live my life to the fullest. and I intend to live the life that Jesus died for me to have. You know, it's an incredibly sad day because it burdens my heart. I wear the scars and they remind me of a life that I've had, and that is so important. It's so important that I remember how bitter the taste of life before Jesus was, so that the life I'm living now, the life that has been given to me like a golden ticket, is celebrated. I want to remind you of who you are. It doesn't matter what people have called you or even what you've called yourself. There is only one who has the authority to tell you who you are. Other people aren't qualified to name you, and they're definitely not powerful enough to define you. And that's been something I've learned over the past couple of years in how much my life has changed. You know, your history might have marked you, but it is certainly not authorised to label you moving forward. Nothing has the power to shape who you've been called to be. You're not defined by your failures. You're not defined by addiction. You're not defined by a failed marriage or the loss of a job or grievings or any of those things that you're going through. You are who God says you are. And everything that God says you are was accomplished 2,000 years ago on a cross when Jesus took up his life and spilt his blood for the whole of humanity. So, yeah, wherever you are today, you know, I would just massively like to encourage everybody just to live the life that Jesus died for you to have. There's only two things that are certain in life: the day you're born and the day you die. In between that, you get a dash. So, yeah, lastly, what are you going to do with your dash? I know for sure that I'm going to spend my dash living for Jesus. As long as there's still air in my lungs, God has a purpose for my life, and I just think that is incredible. Jesus has risen, and he is coming back. And that is fact. So you better get prepared.